Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 8 of Timeliner, my progression-locked Ironman series, where I'll be exploring the world of Runescape, one game update at a time, only with the gear and skills available up until this point. I hope you're excited for a day of Kandarin quests, because I know for sure that I am. After wrapping up the clock tower, we finished with 17th of June 2002. It is time to jump forward 36 days into the future to the next update on the 23rd of July. Looking through the old update posts from that time, most were focused around improving server stability and customer support. Some things never change. Just like our next quest, number 30, the Holy Grail. What a smooth transition. Anyhow, as a coveted member of the Round Table, King Arthur has an exciting quest for us. The Holy Grail is somewhere in Gielinor, and all the previous knights failed to retrieve it. Now it is up to us to try it. With a freed up Merlin, we may get our first hint. Oh, 3 runes. Yoink! Merlin unfortunately only has suggestions. A holy island and a former member of the Rounds, Sir Galahad. All good adventures seem to start on Entrana these days. Back to the monks, we ask them for advice once more. And once again, they don't care. But instead, we get pulled to the side by a strange lady, giving us even stranger hints. Something about the Fisher King in pain. If I knew the real story of the Holy Grail, I'd probably understand more now. However, it is clear that we need a whistle and blow it in the location where 6 giant stone heads point to get to the realm of the Fisher King. We can find the whistle in Draenor Manor, but only while carrying some item from this realm. Maybe Sir Galahad can shed a bit more light on the subject. He's somewhere west of Seer's village. But on the way, I finally paid attention to some statues. This must be one of the stone heads that show us where to blow the whistle. I've done this quest probably 5 or 6 times so far and never knew that these statues were relevant for that. Crazy what reading dialogues can do. Moving on, that must be his hut. How kind, a nice cup of tea. We ask him about the Grail and the realm of the Fisher King, but his answers are cryptic at best. He does, however, hand us a piece of tablecloth he took from there. Well, time to search Draenor Manor for these whistles. On the top floor, in the room next to Professor Odenstein, there is indeed a pair of them. Now the only question that remains is where to blow it. We saw one statue at Camelot pointing south, and I'm fairly sure I saw one in Brimhaven pointing north. So it must be somewhere between these two. Let's head on over to Brimhaven to confirm that. And indeed, we find another giant head there. Let's try out the northernmost tip of the island. Well, if that ain't a promising step. The way forward, however, is blocked by a Black Knight Titan. But armed with a mighty Excalibur, this opponent shall not stand for long. It even has a special ability. I wonder what it does, aside from its sound effect. Ah, defense boost. Well, that's something at least. Down the Titan goes, and we can move forward. Depressing sight. Everything's run down and dying. A local fisher advises us to ring the bell at the castle uphill to talk with the king. Always surprising when something just works without any additional hoops. Inside the castle, the Fisher King already awaits us. The Holy Grail is here in the castle, but it cannot be moved until a questing knight will be able to restore their lands. Well, if he ain't talking about us right now. And the only hint we get on how we might be able to help them is by returning the king's son home before he passes away. The son just so happens to be another knight of the Round Table, Sir Percival. That is mighty convenient. Back to King Arthur to ask him about Percival's whereabouts. He was sent to retrieve some golden boots, but hasn't returned yet, and they don't know where he is. They do know, however, where the boots are. We are being given some feathers that will point us in their direction. Maybe we find Percival near them. Alright, let's try them out. To the east. Well, Varrock is to the east. Now to the west. Okay, Falador's in between. And here we are being pointed north. With a few more directions, we end up in the Goblin Village once again, and stuffed inside some bags, we find Sir Percival. The time in the sack hasn't been good to him. Look at his texture, jeez. Without any introductions, we tell him to return to his father in the Fisher Realm and give him a whistle. Surprisingly, he believes us and heads straight to Brimhaven. Better follow him. Well, that is looking far better already. Green fields, growing crops, even the castle is rebuilt. And there's Percival. Now is the new king. Congratulations to the promotion. And now for our reward. 1 Holy Grail, please. Thank you. Hand it over to King Arthur, and it is quest completed. A lot of defense and prayer XP. And also the knowledge what all these quest items were used for. This puts the Camelot series on a long hiatus. We will not be returning here for 5 more years for the very last quest in the cutoff date of the old school Runescape port. I'm a bit curious which version of Runescape you're playing. I suppose these videos get mostly recommended to RS3 players, but I'd be interested to hear from you in the comments. Now enough fishing for my engagement ratings. Today's update features 2 more quests. In an area expansion to the south of Adon, we get introduced to a new race of Gielinor, Gnomes, in quest number 31, Tree Gnome Village. But to start it, we need to navigate the maze first. I wonder how many people got lost here the first few days with a much more limited draw distance and everything. I tried to scale down the graphics a little bit to keep the older vibe going, but of course these graphics are far ahead of the time. Without a tool such as Roulette, however, it felt very difficult in RS3 to recreate an authentic classic look anyway. Once we reach the Evolution of Combat update, my interface will probably look like a mess of 20 action bars like most other players. Until then, I'll enjoy the simplicity. Now then, here we are at the end of the maze and speak with King Baldrin. His people are in danger. A mighty spirit tree would usually protect his people with the help of 3 magical orbs. But one of them was taken while they were fighting General Khazad's troop to the north. Now we need to retrieve it to bring peace to their lands again. Some good old geopolitical conflict. You'll love to see it. We report to their field commander, Montai. The gnomes seem to be in a bad position and urgently need wood to reinforce their battlements. Our high woodcutting level pays off once more. After retrieving our hatchet from the bank, cutting down 6 trees is no problem. You give 6 loads of logs to the commander, I say in brackets. Now the real quest begins. The orb is in a fortified position, and to break through the outer walls with their ballista, they need precise coordinates. 3 scouts were sent out, but none have yet returned. It is up to us to find them, get the coordinates, and break their defenses. The first scout is just around the corner, but shell shock is a serious condition, and we get no information out of him. The second one fared a bit better, but only managed to retrieve the height coordinate. The last one was captured and is being held in prison, but still managed to get the Y coordinate. Ignoring the inconsistent naming, we retreat back behind the front line and align the ballista. With 1 coordinate missing, it's a bit of a guesswork. 1 out of 4, I mean, how many tries can it take? 4, apparently. We climb through the breach in the wall, dispatch of the first defender, take the ladder upstairs, defeat their commander, and retrieve the orb from the chest. Mission successful. Now back to base. Here go, Baldrin. Quest of course they messed it up. While we were gone, their other 2 orbs were stolen. Fine, going to solve all your problems, I guess. The thieves took the 2 orbs further up north. While his bodyguard helplessly watches from a side and flees in terror, we slaughter the warlord and retrieve the 2 orbs. Hopefully we manage to keep a 1 safe at least while we're gone. Now they just ponder the orbs in front of a spirit tree to restore their protective capabilities. And that is quest completed. A bunch of attack XP, a defense amulet, and the ability to travel between spirit trees. The original travel method was very convoluted, with this tree serving as a hub and all others just teleporting to here. But now we can freely choose from everyone where to go. But as of 2002, there should only be this one here, as well as the one in Baroque. Neat animation. I've used these trees a lot for farm runs in OSRS, so I hope they will become useful here as well. And we head right back to the Gnomes, as the final quest of today is just around the corner. General Khazad poses as the villain for Quest 42 Fight Arena as well. Lady Servile is sobbing as both her son and her husband have been taken prisoner by Khazad to fight in his arena, and she asked us to rescue them. She cannot give us much reward, but our obligation as a member of the Heroes Guild compels us to aid her. That's the arena, now to find a way inside. The guard obviously refuses us entry. Time for a disguise once again. An unattended armory. How sloppy. Let's borrow a suit of armor and pose as one of theirs. They are like our identical twin. I feel our intellect has been mocked somewhat while opening the store, but we cannot drop our disguise so quickly. Now, where are these two guys? In hindsight, they were in the very first cell after the door, but I ran right past them, being only met by hostility from the other prisoners. The head guard, however, let it slip that a sip of Kali brew might lead us to the cell keys. I should really start a counter how often alcohol is being used to progress the quest. We buy the bottle in the pub next door and convince the guard to be cool for once. Blackout drunk, he drops his keys, which we borrow real quick as well. Now I even find the right cell, but only the son is in here. The father is fighting in the arena right now. Seems we came just in time to save him from this giant ogre. With our disguise dropped, we confront General Khazad. He enjoyed our fight and agrees to let us go if we manage to win a couple more. Sounds pretty fair. Our first opponent is a giant scorpion. Luckily not poisonous, otherwise we'd be in a bit of trouble. Next is a hellhound, which is a pretty hefty jump in combat level. But we are well prepared with food and can grind him down. Hooray, victory! Totally unexpectedly, General Khazad double crosses us, wanting to kill us now. Time to come up with a genius escape plan, walking through the same door that we entered. Well, that was easy. And it's a happily reunited family as well as quests completed. Another good chunk of attack XP, a bit of healing and some coins. A good day to get combat levels. Now only one last piece of content remains today. The coal truck mine near Sears Village. A bunch of coal rocks and some minecarts to deposit large amounts to our bank. The only problem is, after December 12, 2002, the only way there was replaced with an agility shortcut requiring level 20 agility. So this area is inaccessible to us for now. And thus, the 23rd of July is completed, and 3 weeks of bug fixing later. We get another update on the 15th of August 2002. A short update post with 2 more quests in, who guessed it, Ardon. Amazing! Let's hit it with quest number 33, Hazeel Cult. A noble family in Ardon, the Carnelians, are having troubles with some bothersome cultists who regularly break into their house and have recently stolen some heirloom armor. They're hiding in a cave to the south, and Cyril urges us to investigate the matter, promising a meager reward. We are warned of some danger. His butler, who had followed them before, was murdered because of it. But luckily they found a replacement in time. Good to hear, I was worried for a second. With enough funds to bankroll a couple of deaths, we head into the cave to the south without any worries. Aha, a sketchy individual. Unfortunately no attack options. Guess we'll have to talk first. Clivet, what a name, tells us that we've fallen for Serodominus propaganda. They are loyal servants of the evil Lord Samurak and have been thrown out of Ardon with the manor and accompanying lands being taken by the Carnelians. Sure buddy, you're the good guys here. But he also mentioned that they're now working for Lord Hazeel, a Majorat. Hey, that's the same thingy as that Lucian guy. Maybe they are relevant for the story. Well, aiding them might be funny, but we need some more concrete rewards than vague promises of power in a distant future. So hey, no running away. Of course his getaway raft was already waiting with the engine running. Better pursue him. But the currents in the water are gone. We need to find some valves overground to get it flowing again. I'm glad that this quest received a rework on the 3rd of July 2012. Before that, there were 2 possible directions for each valve, and you'd had to figure out the right one. Now only the correct option remains. Hopefully the good puzzles were unchanged, however. With all valves set, we head back down and follow Clivet to the Hazeel hideout. And that's their leader. Overconfident in his combat skills, despite just having 25 HP, he blurts out that the new butler is also one of theirs. Rookie mistake, buddy. And that is the family armor retrieved. To be honest, if I knew what it looked like beforehand, I'd have told him that they were better off without it. But too late for that now. Time for us to get our rightful reward and also snitch on the butler. Lord Carnelian does not believe us, however. Instead, he deducts our pay for slandering his trusty servant. Whatever must we do to get the true quest completion? Let's sneak about the house a bit. Nothing in the basement, it seems. Aha, a hidden ladder upstairs. Now there is also absolutely nothing. What a bait. Finally, a hint. A bottle of poison and a Hazeel amulet stored in the wardrobe of a master bedroom. Truly a genius hiding place. The butler won't be able to talk his way out of that one for sure. Finally, justice served. And with justice, I of course mean our remaining cash reward. Quest completed. I'm excited to see where this one is going. In old school, this quest has gotten a continuation in 2023. But that is probably different to how it went down here in RS3. But it won't be until July of 2012 until we find out. So for now, I think all we have time for is one more short quest to further establish the city of Adon. And serving as a sort of prelude for the first major storyline of Runescape, we have quest number 34, Sheep Herder. Councillor Helgrive is distressed, informing us that the western part of Adon is quarantined due to a sudden plague outbreak. They managed to contain the spread, but some sheep appear to be contaminated and must be safely disposed of to prevent the worst. But none of the citizens dare approach the sheep in fear of contagion. Well, such things as safety concerns have no place in our mighty brain. Still, we are forced to buy some protective equipment from the local doctor and head to the affected farm up north. The farmer there suggests using a cattle prod to guide the sheep towards the incinerator. Why exactly they already have an incinerator in a barn eludes me, but asking questions is taking up valuable screen time. So off we go. Looking for some off-colored sheep and guiding them back to the enclosure. Inching them forward a few tiles with a cattle prod. First a yellowish one, then green, then again yellow, although it probably is a different color which I'm unable to tell apart, and finally blue. Feeding animals poison is an equally common theme as giving people alcohol, it seems. And that is all sheep dead. Now we burn down the bones, ignore the remaining off-colored sheeps on the way back, and it's quest completed. 4 more quest points and another decent chunk of money. What a fun day in Kandarin. Looking at the next couple of updates, we'll be staying here for a bit longer and we'll take a closer look at this mysterious plague that has struck the city. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye.